Hello, and happy August. If you can't tell, I am still pregnant. So funny because I had absolutely just imagined my daughter was going to come in the month of July. My due date was July 26th, but it is August 1st and she is still cozy and cooking inside. And so now it's like rewrapping my brain around the fact that I'm now having an August baby. But wanted to come on, wanted to record this in real time because, you know, here we are. So we're going to quickly recap how July went. Then we're going to talk about the really simplistic goals that I have set for the month of August, because I don't know what to expect or what life is necessarily going to look like with a new baby. I am going on a maternity leave. Like, I am fully focusing on being present and just really soaking in that time with her, with my family that's now going to be 3 humans with all of our fur and feather babies. And so yeah, so we're going to talk about that today. I'm super excited just to kind of quickly go through all of this, but to also just feel really planned and like thought through everything that needed to get done in July in preparation for her. Even though she didn't come when I thought she was probably going to, I'm ready and I feel really good, and so it's just a great place to be. So let's do it. All right, so first things first, like we usually do, we just kind of do a quick run through as far as all of my goals go. And I want you, more than anything when I do these, I want you to sit down and do a recap of your goals. So if you took some time to set some goals for yourself in the month of July, this is the time to get those things out. Obviously, you don't care about my goals. My goals don't do anything for you. They don't help you in your life, anything like that. But the point of me doing this is to hold you accountable and hopefully inspire you to take a second to think back on, what did you do in the month of July? What got you closer to the goals that you're working towards? What did you maybe drop the ball on that you maybe need to make some pivots, make some shifts, so that moving into the month of August or whatever, the rest of the year, you're ready to make those shifts because you're realizing like, hey, that didn't work. Hey, I didn't focus on that. Hey, I didn't put enough planning into that, or whatever that might look like. So when it comes to my goals, I have a whole variety of goals. Some of them are more so habits, but we're just gonna quickly go through. So because she's still not here, I was able to finish a complete another 3-week program. So I got that done, which feels really good. I had a goal of 120 hours outside in the month of July, and I actually added that up right before I hit record, and I ended up getting 124.5 hours outside. So I felt super good about that. I actually didn't think I was going to hit the goal of 120 hours outside, just because I didn't feel like I had spent as much time outside. But it just goes to show, like, little by little, spending time outside. I love being outside, even though this week especially we've been under like a heat advisory. We've been like in the 100-degree range, and yesterday specifically I did not feel well at all, and I think it's because I overdid it being outside. We're currently building our home, and so I'm outside a lot, like over there, because it's not boxed in to the point where like air conditioning or anything like that. We met with HVAC this week, like that kind of a thing. And so I spent a lot of time over there. I love just to be outside. I have my garden. I'm no longer bottle feeding my calves, but I am spending time with them. I'm giving them grain. I take care of my chickens. Like, I love it. I love it all. So anyways, I'm actually just really excited that I actually did hit that goal, because that was a stretch. If you remember last month, the goal was 100 hours outside, and I had just beat that. And so I bumped it up to 120 for the month of July, and I beat that. And so I just feel really good about that. So next part was just nutrition wise, just continuing to pay attention to the food that I'm putting into my body. No different than when I wasn't pregnant. When I eat things that don't fuel me, that don't give me energy, that don't make me feel good, I am so much more sluggish. And quite frankly, with a big old belly and, you know, the weight gain that comes with pregnancy and just all the tiredness and insomnia and all of those things that come with pregnancy already, I want to set myself up best case scenario. So that means fueling my body well. Now, do I still absolutely splurge like I always have on throughout my entire life and throughout this health journey? Absolutely, because I don't believe in restriction. But being mindful of what I'm putting into my body making sure that I'm eating multiple smaller meals a day, getting enough water, like all of that has been so key. And so just having that as a goal on here has been something that I am so incredibly appreciative of myself for making that a goal and sticking to that. When it comes to personal development, really all I'm doing at this point, and I've even adjusted that, you'll see when we talk about my goals for August, I'm pretty much just listening to my Daily Fire through the Growth Day app at this point. I have not been reading personal development at all. I just haven't. I have had so many other things going on between the house, between getting prepped for baby, and just trying to get things set up so that I can take a maternity leave since I do work for myself. I have been spending a lot of time doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, making sure my clients are aware that I'm going to take some time away, but still will be there to answer questions. It just may not be within 24 to 48 hours versus it might be like a week before I get back, that kind of a deal. So daily Bible time definitely still happening, and so thankful for that. Greeting my husband at the door and weekly date nights. We have been spending, a lot of our date nights have been around like doing stuff for the house, but whatever, that's okay, that works for me. Making dinner, definitely have been doing well with this, especially with all the fresh veggies that are coming out of our garden and other people's gardens that they're sharing with us. I finally, fingers crossed, knock on wood, have my garden under control and rodents are not messing with it anymore. So I have gotten my first like big tomato. I've gotten a few cherry tomatoes. Actually, they're like yellow, they look like light bulbs, but I mean they're small tomatoes. I've gotten one zucchini and one squash. I have a spaghetti squash that's getting pretty big, like, so things are finally progressing there, which is really exciting. So with that being said, I am making dinners. It makes it even easier to make dinners because I'm excited to use those fresh veggies. They're just so good. Also though, I have been doing some freezer meals. I did some freezer meals with friends a couple of weeks back, maybe closer to a month at this point. But I've started to make a few more for myself. Like, so the other day I made some banana bread muffins that will be super nice. So I'm just trying to think ahead of what I can be making. I made a quiche. I made 2 quiche actually, but one of them I've been eating this week and the other one I put in the freezer to freeze so that I can have that once she's here. So I'm just really trying to think ahead of what can I do now that's going to make life a little bit easier moving forward. And I know that having those things prepped where all I have to do is just like pull them out of the freezer and let them thaw will be so incredibly nice. So I've not only been making dinners, but I've also been prepping ahead of time and thinking ahead and not letting food go to waste, which has been so nice. So this past month, just continued to work my business, you know, the best that I could, trying to help women get started and supporting them as they start their journey. I just got done updating my taxes for the month of July. It is August 1st, so I literally just finished July yesterday, you know, so I updated all of that just a bit ago. Being early, I can't say I've been early, but I've been on time. Yeah, whatever. That's something like I've said, and I sound like a broken record from all of these videos, but like, I know adding a baby into the mix, I'm gonna probably be running late. So that was the whole point of me trying to be early. So me being on time really isn't helping me, but you know, we're doing the best that we can. So I did not work on any of the course stuff at all. Like I said, I have been so focused on like prepping for maternity leave, getting everything ready here at the house for baby, because I didn't know when she was gonna come, and I genuinely thought she would be here by now. So the fact that she's not, you know, I feel very ready. Like, I'm very ready. I've been reading like crazy. I haven't read quite as much this month as I did in prior months, again, because I have been focusing on other things, but I've still been reading. I've been doing a lot more audiobooks, like listening to fiction, but audiobook style, so that I could be doing things like setting up her baby changing station, and when I'm like going on walks outside or taking care of the garden, I just pop a headphone in and I'm listening to my books that way, and that's been really nice. So, been doing that. Videos for here on this channel, I basically just got a plan with me, a mid-month check-in, and now this one. So really I only technically got 2 videos in the month of July versus 1 video per week. But again, my focus has been on all of these things prepping for baby, and I don't feel regretful for that because I feel prepared for that. I feel really good about that. Still have stuck to planning, stuck to my 12-week year. The month of July was literally all focused on baby prep and maternity leave prep and like that kind of a thing. And that is exactly what I've done. So I feel really good about that. Tending to my gardens daily, doing that, no problem. Creating a birth plan, packing list for the hospitals, all that. So everything is packed and has been in my car for quite a while. Car seat has been installed, all the things. Everything is here. Like, we are ready to go. Creating a birth plan. I talked to my midwife actually the other day and I was like, I don't really know what to put on there. And she was like, honestly, she's like, unless there's just something really, really specific, she's like, you're going to be able to talk to us and tell us while we're there. And so I was like, I mean, other than like, I want my husband to cut the umbilical cord and, you know, like, I don't really have anything else. She's like, then don't worry about it. So I was like, okay, then I'm not going to. So prep house and car for baby, got that done. And then the only thing that I haven't done is order and send thank you cards for all of my shower gifts. But part of the reasoning behind that is the fact that I was originally going to take some pictures from our maternity pictures where, you know, with the bump, and use those as the pictures that I would have for the cards, the thank you cards. But then I was like, you know what? How much better would it be if I could send a thank you card that had like maybe a newborn picture of her on it, because we plan to get those done within that first week that she's born. And so I was like, I'd rather do that. So I'm just going to wait a little bit until she is here, get those pictures done, and then order those thank you cards. So I've just bumped that goal to next month, or this month, I guess, technically August, because it is August 1st. So that is where we are with July, and I feel so, so good. Like I said, thought baby would be here by now. She's not, but I feel super productive, super accomplished, and just really thankful that I took the time to plan and think through a lot of these things, because now when she does arrive, I know I'm not going to be like stressed out and anxious, like, oh my gosh, I still have so much to do, or I didn't get these things done and I wish I would have. And that is just a really, really, really good feeling. All right, so with that being said, let's move on to August and talk about this. So just from a visual standpoint, I want you to look at July. Like, you don't even have to know what these are, but look at the number of pictures and words that are on my July versus what's on my August. Now, obviously there's still plenty on August, but I hope that you'll notice that there are a handful of fewer things on my August vision board than there were on my July vision board. So I want to be so incredibly realistic, and I do not want to set myself up for failure by putting far too much on my plate and then getting to the end of August and being like, oh my gosh, I got nothing done, because my focus for August is this baby. My focus for August is to get into new routines. I don't know what to expect bringing a baby into this world. I've never done that before. So being realistic with myself, I want to not put too much on my plate. And so I think that I've done a good job of that. So my goal is still, though, I'm going to do another 120 hours outside. That is my hope. I want to spend time with her outside. I want to get her outside as much as I can. Obviously, not if it's 100-degree weather, you know, like, I'm not going to like put her in danger, but mornings, evenings, I love fresh air. I know fresh air is good for me. I know fresh air is good for everybody. But also, like, during nap times and different things, I plan to definitely still be spending time outside. I'm taking this maternity leave and I want to fully soak that up, and whatever that's going to look like. When it comes to nutrition, more than anything, like I just shared, I've meal prepped some freezer meals. I did some with friends. I have not touched any of those things. I plan to try to kind of set up like a meal train with family, especially right after we get home from the hospitals, where different people want to come visit her, and then they might also bring a meal, that kind of a thing. So I really want to have those sorts of things kind of in place. And so I want to have a plan with that. I don't want to get to a point where we don't have any food, or I don't know what we're going to eat or whatever. I want those things taken care of. So having a plan and some prep in place is really, really important to me. And then I want to continue to track my nutrition, but now in a postpartum way. I want to make sure that I'm eating in a way that's going to fuel my body. I'm going to try to breastfeed and pump. So I want to make sure that I'm eating in a way that's going to make sure I have a good milk supply, you know, like, so all of those things, like, very, very nutrition focused in that way. I know that that's going to come with intention and planning, and it's not just going to happen by chance. So when it comes to personal development, basically like what I said in July, all I'm pretty much doing at this point is listening to the Daily Fire every day. That's all I'm going to put myself to. I can still absolutely do that. Again, I can pop a headphone in. The Daily Fires are usually anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. That's no problem. I can absolutely do that. Daily Bible time, I hope to continue that and making that become a part of our daily routine, whether when I'm pumping or feeding her or whatever that might look like. As far as my goal that I normally have, as far as like date nights with my husband, I just put on here, adjust to newborn life and being a family of 3. So again, that's very open-ended. Is that even a goal? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. That is my focus. Like, I'm being so realistic with this. When it comes to work, that kind of a thing, my focus, what I literally wrote on here was find a new routine and a plan with baby. What does life look like now with baby? I said loosely follow 12-week year, but I specifically made my 12-week year knowing that she was going to be here. And I, again, lessened that load big time because I had planned this whole time to take August at least for my maternity leave, if not September as well. And so I just have on here maternity leave. At the end of August, I want to track my taxes. I've been doing so good so far this year. We are 7 months in. We are 7 for 7 as far as me tracking taxes, which feels amazing. Continuing to tend to my gardens. I want to share my pregnancy series that I have recorded here on this channel, of just like getting things prepped, all of that. And at first I was putting a lot of pressure on myself that like that needed to be done before she was here. But I'm like, realistically, it doesn't, because the beauty of YouTube is like people can find these videos anytime. But me posting videos of like how I've organized things, that kind of thing doesn't have to be posted before she's here because it's still relevant, right? So that's kind of my plan for the month of August, is to get those videos edited when I have a chance and get them uploaded. They're really simple, but I think that they will be helpful. I know that I enjoy them, and so that's the plan with that. Like I shared earlier, we did not end up sending out thank you cards for the showers or anything because I decided that I wanted to use pictures of her that I could send to people for those thank you cards. So the plan is to take those newborn pictures and then order those thank you cards and get all of those sent out this month as well. I have the goal, I left the goal on here to be early. We haven't really achieved that yet, but doesn't mean we don't keep working towards it. I mean, if it's on here, at least I'm going to be more mindful of it than if I take it off completely, right? So, reading fiction, I took off the number of books and just said, try to read 30 minutes a day. And if that's listening to 30 minutes of a fiction book a day, that counts too. I'm okay with that. And then the final thing is, in the event that I end up having some time and I want to be creative and I want to do some learning and I want to do some work type stuff, I'm going to go back to that course, that blogging course that I basically have done nothing with. So that is kind of my one little piece of like work stuff that really is just learning that I have on here. If we get to it, great. If we don't, not the end of the world, but that's it. Like that's all I have for August. And I feel so good because I feel like that's really realistic. Bringing a new baby into this world is going to be enough in itself. So putting anything else on my plate really is silly and unrealistic. Like I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. I just know better than to do that. So this feels so good, so in alignment with the life that I want to live, and just how I want this August to go. Obviously, I don't know how it's going to go, but I can do my best to kind of be mindful of that and try to be really purposeful in the actions that I'm taking. So that is the plan. That's where we are. I feel really excited about it. So at this point, we are still here cooking and no baby yet, but she should be here. I mean, she'll be here within days no matter what, because if I have to be induced or I go into labor naturally, which I've been trying all the things, no matter what, she'll be here soon. So I'm just really excited. Life is about to change and become super crazy, and it's going to take some time, probably the entire month, for me to get into any sort of groove, and honestly probably the rest of the year. I know from talking just to other mamas and other people that when you bring kids in the world, obviously it changes everything. I've been an aunt since I was like 9 years old, so I know that kids are a lot of work. I love being around kids. I'm so excited for our family, all the things. And so I just want to take this and be super realistic with it. So anyways, this is the check-in. Just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that you have the absolute best August, and I hope that you make some plans. I hope you feel excited and motivated, and I hope more than anything from this video specifically, you've heard over and over again the word realistic. I'm not saying don't reach. I'm not saying don't push yourself, but what I am saying is realistically look at your life, look at what's going to happen this month, and plan your goals based off of that. Just like I have. I know a baby's coming this month, right? So I've set goals that are realistic to a baby being added to our family, and it's very different than the last 7 months of the year have been. I have set bigger goals. I have put myself in a position to grow and to push a little bit more. Whereas month of August, there's really no push. It's giving myself grace. It's learning. It's knowing that it's going to be hard and it's going to be a transition. And it's going to be different, but I'm here for that. I'm okay with that and I'm aware. So I just feel like I'm going to be so much more willing to welcome all of those changes and not let it stress me out to the max and get me down and make me feel defeated, because I've thought through it. I've really thought through what this is going to look like Do I have it all under control? No. And will it still be very hard? Yes. But it's not going to be as hard because I've taken the time to do this. So just want to encourage you to do the same thing. You don't have to be in the same season of life that I am, whatever your circumstances are. It's back to school season. So maybe you just have kids going back to school and it's always a chaotic time of year. Then let that be the thing that you're like, okay, realistically, with kids going back to school, what can I do this month? Or whatever is going on in your life. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Sorry for the lack of videos this month, but I'm feeling really good life-wise and preparation-wise, and I'm still here. We're just had to take a little bit of a step back to get some things organized and ready to go, and that's okay with me because this is more of a hobby. You know, I love my YouTube channel and I love that it's slowly but surely growing. I love every single one of you that have taken the time to hit the subscribe button because it does support my channel. But at the end of the day, it is a hobby. My family has to come first, and this preparation I feel like has helped me show up better so that I can continue to show up in a space like this in the form of a hobby and not feel pressure, but feel excited to be here and to continue to do this. So thank you. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. See ya.